The next story is blind man gets license to carry permit to make a point about Indiana gun laws. A blind man is raising concerns about Indiana gun laws after he was allowed to get a license to carry a handgun. Terry Sutherland told iTeam 8, that's the news channel, he got his permit to prove a point and to try to spark conversations about reasonable gun legislation. Sutherland was using his sight seeing stick when he went to the city-county building to get fingerprinted for the permit. He said he spoke with several people who knew that he was blind. Quote, it just went very smoothly and normally. Nobody seemed to think anything about it. It was mind-boggling. It shocked me more than I expected. I thought at the last second somebody would go, wait a minute, and it just would not get approved. I'd get a letter that explained, listen, you can't aim a gun or put a bullet where it's supposed to go, so we're not going to give you a permit, Sutherland said. That didn't happen. Now his license to carry permit sits in a lanyard around his neck. Sutherland is not against the Second Amendment. Pfft, whatever. Before he lost his sight as a teenager, he learned how to safely use guns. Blah, 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 blah. Here's the thing. This is a red herring. Is that the right term? I mean, are we worried about blind people with guns? Like, does this happen? Is this something we should be worried about? You know, he's basically taking this idea that, hey, as a blind man, I was able to get a permit, and somehow connecting that to, you know, people getting hurt with guns. Is this a huge problem? You know, are blind people getting gun permits and then robbing banks? Is that happening and I'm not aware of it? I mean, this is absolutely ludicrous. This was clearly a stunt. One has nothing to do with the other, but these kind of stories provoke a reaction like, oh, geez, we have to do better. We have to do better how? Like, is he suggesting that we make it illegal for blind people to own guns? Like, what exactly is going on? You know what I mean? Like, there's not like a direct connect here. He's just saying, well, everybody's irresponsible. A blind guy got a gun. It's not even a problem with him. He didn't even do anything irresponsible with the gun.
Right.
Like, there hasn't been a problem. He's just suggesting he's a problem. And he pulled off this stunt, to try to hurt gun owners is really all it amounts to. So, I don't know. What are your thoughts? What do you guys think?
A couple things I would like to point out. First, as much importance as we ascribe to permits of all types, especially concealed carry permits, it is fundamentally a piece of paper. And while it gives you the legal permission to do something without getting put in prison, it doesn't have a magical ability to stop people who do not have it from doing the thing that would be illegal without it. So what I'm trying to say is that if you are a criminal and you want to go out and commit a crime with a gun, then not having a concealed carry permit isn't stopping you physically from stuffing it in your cargo shorts or in your waistband and going out and holding up a 7-Eleven. Now, disclaimer, please do not do that. I do not endorse holding up 7-Elevens or Wawas for that matter. Which I guess isn't a concern for you guys.
We don't have Wawas.
But, well, your loss. But in all seriousness, I have yet to see any compelling evidence that shows that people who have concealed carry permits are, to any degree, more likely to go out and commit violent crimes with or without firearms. And in fact, the other thing I'd like to point out is that one organization which attempts to use data to make that point, the Violence Policy Center, and a gun control lobbying group, they have a website that they call the Concealed Carry Killers Database. And a couple years ago, I went through that database and I made a blog post about it. That's up on the SDCGO blog, showing that if their statistics are accurate, which it seems like they go to great lengths to keep their database as up to date as they can. If their numbers are accurate, concealed carry permit holders are dramatically less likely to go and commit any sort of violent crime with firearms. And their database furthermore includes accidents and things of that nature. So using their own data, one can draw the conclusion that those of us who have permits are much, much safer than the baseline population. Now, if they don't make any claims that their data is accurate and that their database is comprehensive, then it isn't a database, it's a set of case studies. So maybe they should change that.
One of our favorite listeners is on YouTube. He goes by Gun Websites, and he just sent a message saying, I interviewed Carrie McWilliams at GRPC, Gun Rights Policy Conference in 2018. Carrie wrote a book about the CCW permits, and he is 100% blind.
We'll tell you, well, it's not super common. I have assisted in a class where we had blind people in the course.
Yeah. And there's different degree of blind, right?
There are, but in the ones that I had, they were 100%.
Gotcha.
No sight.
They
actually did well.
There's a local guy. His name's Pete. He's got this Instagram. It's actually a really interesting Instagram. He's a blind surfer.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and he's got this wetsuit that says blind surfer on it, so that people know, people in the lineup or whatever. But he's got a coach, and he's a blind surfer, and he goes out and surfs. But one of the other things he does is he goes to the gun range.
Yeah.
And he shoots at the gun range. In fact, I can't tell, but I think it actually might have been, it looked a lot like a Discount Gun Mart. He's right here in PB. Like I said, his name's
What
Pete.
if he was the one in my class?
Maybe he was. Really good dude, really interesting. But it's just such a reach that this guy's doing this, He goes on to say, if I can have, by the way, if I can, this is a quote directly from the guy in Indiana. If I can have a gun, why can't I have a driver's license? What's the worst that could happen? I could kill somebody with a car, Sutherland said. Is there is there any can he show us anything? Like, is there a rash of blind people shooting others? I mean, this is so ridiculous.
Or of people, for that matter, of people waiting to get their permits, and then immediately when they get their permits, going out and holding out Wawas.
Yeah. I got to tell you, I probably feel more secure with, blind people because they're not going to use it. They're going to get the permit. They're not going to do anything. So anyway, this is the kind of ridiculous stunt that I just absolutely hate. This guy isn't doing anything good. I'm so sorry about his sight. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's a lifetime thing or it happened to him later. But this kind of, anti-gun activism, it's just ridiculous. But I definitely, again, one of the things we try to do here is we try to pull back the curtain. So, is this something we should be concerned about? No. Take it the next step and think it through. Are blind people and guns, or blind people is that really a problem? Is that an issue? Does it really indicate that our system needs to be changed? That the Second Amendment is somehow flawed because this blind guy got a gun or got a permit? I don't even got a gun. He just got a permit. So anyway, all right. Well, there you go.
If someone wanted to make a point about ease of obtaining concealed carry permits, then the man bites dog story would be, convicted violent criminal gets concealed carry permit. But I haven't heard of that happening. Not to say there aren't paperwork slip-ups, but I am not aware of any instances of that happening.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even like there's some kind of crime you can only commit as a blind person. You know what I mean? Like, gee.
Or that you can only commit with a permit.
Yeah, it's just
why would there be a permit that lets you go commit crimes?
I mean, again, clearly somebody that wasn't trying to help a situation, he was just trying to hurt your right to keep and bear arms. By the way, this just in: Philadelphia Eagles win the Super Bowl 40-6. 40-6. The Kansas City Chiefs got absolutely demolished. I don't care, but I thought I'd announce it. I don't really give a crap. I haven't thought about the Philadelphia Eagles since I don't know when. So, and I certainly don't really give a rip about the Kansas City Chiefs. So, screw them both. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. I'm Michael from Gun Owners Radio. If you liked what you saw, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and make a comment. Help us out. Go to gunownersradio.com. Thanks for watching.